Hi, everybody, and welcome back to La Capricornia with me, Priscilla Moreno. As always, make sure you stay until the end for your full guided message. Okay, you guys, so it's officially 1 year since I started this podcast. And in celebration of that, I'm going to go a little dark here, but it's for very good reasons. I want to talk about how hard transformations can be, how hard it is to be in line with yourself and to finally listen to your intuition and choose yourself, be happy. Because as easy as it is to say, and how amazing and you would think, wonderful it would be to say, hey, I choose myself above everybody else. And, I'm choosing this path of happiness. It sounds amazing, right? It can be one of the loneliest, hardest paths that you will go through. And that is because you are very much getting in line with yourself and starting to recognize all these bad habits, good habits, everything about yourself, and saying, what do I want to keep and grow, and what do I want to help transform into something else? I don't think that we can completely kill like the old part of ourselves, but we can definitely work to make it better, right? So, to start off, you guys, when I started on this journey, I there was many things, and it's really hard to pinpoint to where exactly I started with this from, but even going back years ago when I just decided to choose myself and to stop living, thinking that I was being the perfect wife, the perfect mother, the perfect everything, when I wasn't getting anything in return anymore. When I made that choice of, I'm going to do me. I don't know what that is exactly, but I want to choose myself and live my dreams and be happy for once. I was so focused on making everyone around me happy that I completely lost myself. I lost who I was. The things that I was interested in, I wasn't even paying attention to because I was just so worried about what everybody else around me, was interested in and what they wanted. And that's not the life to live, you guys. So when I chose this path, it caused many issues. It caused so many issues. There was already things that weren't great at the time, but all it did was, I felt at the time like it caused more issues. In reality, it was just clearing those things out for me. Specifically, people that shouldn't be in my energy anymore, that were just taking. And then on top of that, like just the situation that I was in when it came to everything. And at first I was like, okay, everything's falling apart, because that's what I felt, you guys. I felt like everything was falling apart. I felt like, am I making the right choice? Am I doing the right things? What about my kids? What about my life? And, slowly I started seeing things progress. So I started seeing things getting better, but then other things were falling apart as well. So I was like, okay, this part of my life is going great, but then what is going on with this side? And the crazy thing about when it's time to move on from certain things, sometimes it isn't like, that heartbreaking, this is horrible, they're stabbing me in the back. Sorry, you guys, I'm a little sick. It's not always like that. It's because I feel like sometimes we're led to believe, you have to go through this horrible situation to completely want that transformation. And sometimes you do, you guys, don't get me wrong. But one of the things that I noticed too is I started having this feeling of, I know that I'm doing great. I know that this is amazing what I'm doing and people appreciate it and things like that. But I just wasn't happy in the situation I was in. I was losing motivation. There was like a bunch of things going on at the time, specifically the area that I was working in, the people I was working with. I started realizing that, I was tired of having certain battles and things like that. And I was just like, I'm over this, right? So one of the things that I had to think about was, sorry, you guys. One of the things that I had to think about was, do I completely say bye to, this company? What do I do? And at that time, I got the opportunity to go out and help out in Nevada, which you all know now. I decided to make my home. And that was a sign for me, because I really think back, and even if I had left and gone somewhere else out there, where I was living at, I don't know if I would have been happy, to be honest with you. It wasn't just the work that wasn't working for me, it was like the people, the traffic, so many things going on, and it wasn't giving me the time that I needed for myself, for my children, anything in life other than just basically get up, go to work, come back home, play with my kids for a little bit. But I was so busy at the time that they weren't getting that much attention from me, which I know sucks to admit as a mother, but I was not doing that well when it came to trying to have like that work and home life balance, right? Coming out here, I definitely have that, you guys. And like I said, that was a tough road in itself because if y'all remember, I moved out here with nobody. Nobody like knew who I was. Well, some of my coworkers did, but like I didn't have friends. I didn't really have anybody. So that was tough in itself, you guys. And another thing is I made the choice to let my kids finish school in California. So while they finished school, I was over here getting the apartment ready, getting everything set up, getting them registered, doing all these things. And it was the loneliest time, you guys, because I literally felt alone. I hadn't been without my kids like more than a couple days. And, it's like, oh, they go with, my brother, they go with their dad, or they do whatever. But to be completely without them for months and they're miles away to where if something happens, like I can't be there, it was definitely a different feeling and it bothered me so much. It bothered me so much because I had never done that, But at the same time, it did give me that opportunity to really focus on something outside of like, just being a mom. Because for a time, I think that's what it was too. And I'm not kicking anybody who like focuses on that, but I was just so focused on other things. Like, again, I lost myself, there was no time for me. And anybody that has that preference, whatever they want in their life, that's fine. For me, it wasn't doing it for me. I needed to have like a hobby outside of like my kids, my family, the things like that. I needed to get away. There's just so much noise. I guess that's the best way I could describe it. There was just so much noise. But at the same time, it's that comfort of knowing, when you know how something is, when you know what it's like, even if it's bad for you, sometimes we stay because we're like, oh, this is what I know, this is what I'm comfortable, I can predict this. And coming to here and just being like, I cannot predict this, was a whole different thing. And there was just so much that I learned. I learned to, let the universe do its thing. I let go of that controlling behavior when it came to wanting to know how everything, happened. I was able to get in touch with myself more. I started this podcast. I actually had that time to do it. And not only just do it, but like even when the kids came over, I have that work-life balance where I can even like have that little, 30 minutes that I can to record this and get this ready for you guys. And so much came out of this, you guys, but it didn't come easy. And, and I think that's one of the hardest things to understand is because sometimes we think, oh, this isn't working out for me. This is hard. I can't do this, and it's not that, you have to work for it. It's not going to come easy. And even when it's good for you, it's not going to come easy, you guys. Sometimes it does, but there are times where you have to work towards it, I actually read a thing last time that was talking about like, developing your skills. I didn't wake up one day and decide, I'm going to be an inventory manager and just know everything because I had this thought, this is what I'm going to be, right? So my skill set was just there. That's not what happened. I started from the bottom 11 years ago and I learned everything step by step. I got promoted, I grew up, And now you can ask me anything, and I probably have every single answer for you. I'm really good at what I do, you guys. Not trying to, overtalk myself, but I do. I am really good at what I do. And, again, it didn't just happen because I woke up one day and said, this is what I want to do, and it just popped into my head. It took time to work that skill, and that's just with everything with life, you guys. You aren't going to be an expert at everything. Like even the people that are like, oh, I have the perfect, work-life balance and this and that. Pretty sure it took them a little bit of trial and error, trying to play around, trying to get schedules, seeing what fits for them. It's in everything, you guys. It's in everything. Not everything's just like that perfect glove that fits. Sometimes you gotta try on different ones to see like, okay, this is the perfect thing that fits me. And it could be made up of different materials, But yeah, you guys, that's probably one of the biggest things is it may not be easy, but if you know that it is leading you to your outcome, I would follow it. I would follow it with all my heart. Let go of the toxic people, let go of that toxic mindset, move forward and be happy. That's the only way you're going to get there, you guys, is you have to keep moving forward and choose yourself above all else, because if you're not there for yourself, you're never going to be able to be there for anybody else. Okay, you guys, well, that's my little rant. I hope you guys like it, and I'm so excited to have been here for this past year with you guys, and here's to many more. Okay, you guys, so now I'm going to do your card reading. So the first card is the Unalive card. I can't say the name anymore. I found that out recently. So it's the Unalive card, which actually means that it's the end of old things, and it's, don't look at it like it's scary. It's a new beginning. Like a new beginning is coming your way, and this can be in anything. I'm actually getting like a really specific message when it comes to this one. For some reason, I'm getting like a cycle. Different cycles in your life are just ending. Like you've been pushing forward for this. You've been asking for this. You've been working for it, and like this is it, you guys. And it might not be what you were thinking it was. So, which is pretty funny because I actually had this happen to me recently. Every time I would read these cards, I would read them in a certain way. And personally for me, I thought it meant something. And recently I found out that, maybe this is what they meant with the ending of this. This is what I should be focusing on. This is what it is, And I've started going down that path, and I'm seeing it. And I was just missing the signals. And yes, while this was an ending of this is something that I needed to work on and move forward with as well, because this was also keeping me stuck. And sometimes that is what it is, you guys. So follow your intuition, pay attention to those signs, Sometimes we're so focused on something, we don't see this as well. So try to be as open-minded, ground, meditate, have all that happen, you guys. The next card is the Knight of Pentacles. So the Knight of Pentacles is, it's asking you to stop wasting energy. Stop wasting energy. I actually kind of get it where it's very in line with this. Like, stop wasting your time. Stop wasting your energy on things that don't serve you. I'm getting that message very clear. And you guys, we're in a retrograde right now too. So this could be a time where you're being tested. And maybe this is where you're like, nope, that's it. This is not going to happen again. We're not doing this. I'm done. I'm over it. Let's keep moving forward with it. And this is what it's telling you, like, stop wasting your time. Like, if you have any doubts, or if somehow it gets to your head, like, maybe this is back in my life because of this, or maybe this is what this is going on. Nope, you guys, like, retrograde, keep moving forward. Stop wasting your energy, especially if you're not being appreciated. I keep seeing, like, he's like, I'm going to grab what I have and take off with it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not dealing with this. That's the vibe that he's giving off, you guys. And then the last card is the Devil card. So that's actually has to do with like addictions. It can be obsessions. It can even be actually the Capricorn card. Yes, I know, you guys, that is our card. But what I'm getting here, I guess, not I guess, but in line with everything else that I'm hearing is, I feel like you're really letting go. This was something that you were attached to. You weren't happy. You know, you were stuck to this situation, you're obsessing over it. You might have even still been kind of thinking like, is this the right thing to do? Should I do this? And the answer is yes, you guys. Keep moving forward. Stop wasting your time. Stop wasting your energy. And I really do feel that for you guys, that is something that you need to do. Just stop, move forward, stop doubting yourself, stop it. I know I can say it 50 more times if you need me to. Stop, 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 stop. You know, I'm not going to say it 50 times, but definitely keep moving forward, you guys. You guys, this is exactly what's in line with you and what you've been asking for. And you can't fully get what you want if you don't fully let go of this past. And that is probably one of the hardest things you guys can do, because I get it, it's scary, it's so scary to go through that transformation, but you're pretty much going through it, and then this is the last part of it, is completely closing that door. Okay, guys, for your guided card, I'm getting express your creativity. Thank you, angels, for helping me express my inner creator. Okay, you guys, so I am getting like you need to get your creativity out to help you get over this. And actually, I mean, yes, it is have to do with creativity, but I also do feel like it's something that you're working on, something that you need to let out. Which is actually funny, because not only with the retrograde, but we are having like the full moon, and it's like a lunar eclipse. It's like this whole thing that was happening on the 5th. And what I am getting here is I feel like you've been wanting to get things out, like things inside you have been wanting to come out. And I actually am going through this, you guys, where I'm getting annoyed by certain situations, I'm getting upset, things are triggering me, and I wasn't understanding why, right? And then after I kind of started learning more about what's going on right now during this time, I started realizing that the things that I'm getting upset about are the things that I bite my tongue on a lot, right? And while it's okay sometimes not to start battles, and it's not even wanting to start a battle, but sometimes you just need to let it out, whether that's exercising, whether that's making videos, whether that's painting, doing something. Your creativity needs to be brought out. It's asking you to create your own world. Like, it's up to you to create your world, and you need to get started on it. You need to get started on getting it out there, you guys. However it is, you need to get it out there. Okay, you guys, and I'm gonna get you guys a card from the Coffee Cup Oracle. So I am getting the Rabbit, which is pregnancy and fears. I really don't feel like this is like pregnancy and like what you're thinking of. I'm just thinking it's like fertility. I'm getting like, you know, you're creating ideas. You're have this abundance that's coming to you right now, but it does also have fears in it, you guys. So I do feel like a lot of this is in your head, and you do need to just stop worrying about it, right? I feel like this is your guided card right now. This one's actually a really good one, you guys, because again, it's having those thoughts, having those things that you want to do, but then you have this fear inside of you of, you know, what's gonna happen, or should I do this, or it got hard for 2 seconds, you know, should I keep doing this? And I get it, you guys. Like I said, it's been an interesting year, and you know, I'm barely 32, so it's just gonna keep on happening. It's just gonna keep on happening. Life just keeps going, you know, forward, and I have to keep pushing forward, you know. As long as I'm still alive, I have to move forward. I have to want what's best for me, and that's the only way everyone else around me is going to prosper, aka my children. But that's it, you guys. I hope you guys really liked the message. Let me know what you think. As always, don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow me on my other social medias for anything else that I'm up to. Have a great week, everybody.